What is false information or fake news? Lots of things you read online, especially in your social media feeds, may appear to be true, often is not. False information as news. Stories or hoaxes created to deliberately misinform or deceive readers. False information can deceive people by looking like trusted websites or using similar names and web addresses to reputable news organizations. Awareness and vigilance of fake news. There are differing opinions when it comes to identifying types of false information. However, when it comes to evaluating content online, there are various types of false or misleading news we need to be aware of. These include 1. Clickbait 2. Propaganda 3. Satire, parody 4. Sloppy journalism 5. Misleading headings 6. Biased, slanted news. 6 ways to spot fake news. Separating fact from fiction accurately can seem daunting. But getting to the truth is always worth the effort, even if it's not what you want to hear. Use these 6 steps to weed out the truth from the lies. 1. Develop a critical mindset. 2. Check the source. 3. See who else is reporting the story. 4. Examine the evidence. 5. Don't take images at face value. 6. Check that it sounds right. Consequence of fake news. As a student, you are expected to find, evaluate, and reference trustworthy information sources in a variety of formats. If you include fake news as evidence for your arguments or as part of your research, it may raise doubts about the integrity of the sources you use as a whole and your ability to identify quality information. 2. Provide you with false, misleading, or deceptive information used to make a decision or take action. It can be dangerous to do something without having all the facts. But it can be just as detrimental to do so based on inaccurate information. 3. Confirm your biases. It's even more difficult to question information that affirms what you believe or lends itself as proof to an argument you're making. But just as an article touting something that you don't agree with isn't always fake news, information that you do agree with isn't always real. 4. Lead to lack of belief or trust in scientific findings. As more and more individuals fall for information online that directly opposes scientific research, researchers are increasingly put in the position of having to defend the validity of their findings. Solution to avoid it spreading. 1. Never share a post on social media without fact-checking. This is especially true if it comes from a source you trust. If you want to spread truth, you need to assume that other people aren't perfect and may make mistakes. 2. Look for the sources. Mainstream news is only as good as the sources they rely on. Anonymous sources, or stories coming from only a single source, are more suspect than stories with multiple sources of confirmation. 3. Consider the story's agenda. Stories are colored by the agendas of their writers. News organizations typically operate for money, and part of their brand, and thus their profits, lies in their accuracy. 4. Don't discount stories that play to emotions, but view them with caution. Injustices and corruption are things that make any ethical person upset or angry. A story that promotes emotion is not automatically false just because it provokes strong feelings. Unfortunately, scammers and propagandists know the power of emotion and use that tool in their work. Therefore, fact-check before you share.